So hi, welcome to the Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
I'm Mikey.
I'm Colton, and together we are the Break Plans.
And we're going to ask them some questions today. I'm going to start. So what inspired you guys to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
Mike.
Cool.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, I know. This is, this is a great.
what was the question exactly? You said what inspired us to start the band? I kind of got cut off. I didn't hear the first few words you said. What was
Mike's
it?
got shitty internet.
Yeah, it was
No.
what inspired you to start the band, and what does the band name mean?
All right, Colin, you go for this one.
All right, nice. So glad we did that. Yeah. So, what inspired us to start the band? I guess at least on my side, I was like a solo musician for a while, kind of doing my own stuff, making songs in my little studio and stuff like that. And at least for me, music was always more collaborative. I feel like, so I was like, yeah, I want to do a band. I feel like that's a lot more fun rather than just kind of doing it by myself. So therefore, I kind of went on Craigslist, and we actually met via Craigslist. And I know Mike's kind of inspiration was, I don't want to take your thunder, but it was kind of like, Mike had been in and out of bands kind of in the past, and this was kind of like, I remember him retelling the story of like, I'm going to check one more time, and I promise, like, if it does, if this isn't it, it's not gonna be this time. And luckily, we found each other. We grabbed a few beers at the local bar, got to know each other, and I was immediately sold, and I was like, yes, I want this band thing. Let's do it. And then Mike, you can probably take over the name inspo.
All right.
Well, I would say band was second on my list. I wanted a new friend, so I went on Craigslist.
Yeah.
For a new friend.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
And I was like, I was kind of like, yo, like, who's out there that I could just hang out with
Mhm.
and do music? So music second. But yeah, Colin kind of told the story, right? Yeah. So it's cool because I gained a new friend
Yeah.
in my Craigslist hunting. And I got Colin out of it. So that's good. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I
You
will.
had a friend?
And a pretty good singer, too. So,
Oh, it's
yeah.
nice. Oh, cheers. Yeah, I will say too, that was actually a big thing of mine is as I was like, not only do I want, and I think I like wrote it in my little ad, but I was like, not only do I want, like a bandmate, like I want somebody, I can like hang out with, because at least for me, if you're going to be in a band and eventually go on tour and play shows and things like that, you definitely have to get along on more of a friend level. If you're going to live with these people and the amount of hours we spend together is unbelievable.
You cleaned your room, didn't you?
I did. Well, I'm on a podcast. What do you think I'm going to do?
Exactly.
Your room is super clean right now. I love it. I
Well,
go
you
to
can't-
Colin's
to be
house.
fair, you can't see the front section of the room, right?
It's like hit or
Shut
miss
up.
sometimes. You walk in, it's like, what the fuck? And then you walk inside, it's like clean. It's like, yo, mom came over and cleaned.
Oh my god.
Also, keep in mind too, you can't see my desk, and my desk is always a mess. It's
I
always
felt that.
That's completely valid.
yeah.
But I'm just having a little fun here.
Oh, and then Mike, well, you dodged the question about the name of the band.
Hmm.
When I was in kindergarten, I always wanted to name. I always wanted to be in a band, and I always wanted to call it the Break Plans. So no, I'm sorry. We told this story so many times. I get sort of like I get tired of telling it, but basically, like, Colton came over to my house when we first met, like the first month, and it was like my birthday, and we were gonna all go out drinking and partying for my birthday.
Mhm.
So I had been already hanging out at my house, like day drinking.
Mhm.
So Colton comes over a little bit later and wants to catch up. So he
Mhm.
kind of like brought a small bottle of tequila and some Miller Lights, and he starts like pounding away. And I mean,
Very hot
like,
summer day.
Mm.
and I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, I just kind of met him like only like a month or so earlier. And I'm like, yo,
Oh.
what is going on? He's trying to catch up to us.
Oh my
Like,
god.
Revel. So it was going to be basically a band meeting,
Mhm.
and then we're going to go out and have a band birthday, right?
Yeah.
Like this reformed band.
Mhm.
So we had some names in mind anyway. And basically, Colton had just consumed a little too much alcohol too fast,
Tiny bit.
Yeah.
that he started falling over my drum set and almost breaking my instruments. And
Oh, stop! I fell on your drum set one time.
it's true. And the name Break Plans was kind of thrown out there in our meeting. And
Mhm.
we ended up not being able to go out and party for my birthday because Colton broke those plans. So
Wow.
So and a side note, the name came from a line in The Academy Is. It's a band, one of their songs
Mhm.
that I always liked. Make plans to break plans. So so it was kind of like meant to be in a weird way.
Yeah. And I totally get not wanting to tell the story again, but it's just kind of like the icebreaker question,
Yeah, I
which
know.
might not be the best icebreaker question because most bands are sick of telling the story, so they just
Yeah.
give us a shitty look when I ask it.
Like that, I always feel like kind of weird because it involves like consuming lots of alcohol, and I'm always like, should I tell the real story or like someday should we just like make something up? You know?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. So,
You know.
Yeah, but and obviously it's nothing personal to you. It's just, I'm sure when you do like press stuff and media stuff, it's always the first question.
It's
So
always
how
the
did
first
you
question.
guys start as a band?
Yeah.
And you're good. I always feel bad throwing shade at Colton about that. Honestly, I always
Oh, no shade is here. I enjoy my parties, so.
Yeah. If you continue to get sick of the answering the question, you can always just kind of like try and make something up and try and work off of each other in the story. I think that'd be cool.
Mike was doing with his preschool, and I'm just like, all right, I
could
feel
see
bad.
your face.
Yeah.
I could see your
Yeah.
face. I knew it right away. I was like, this is bullshit.
Exactly.
Don't please these people, Mike. You're so nice.
but for real, it's not getting tired of the questions. It was just that one question. I always get kind of like, oh, like should I tell the whole like detail? I don't know. The
Yeah.
whole drinking thing, him having too much. I always feel.
Yeah, we also never know if we got to be like, PG or whatever,
Mhm.
depending on the
Yeah,
audience.
that's fair.
Mom was watching.
Yeah.
It
My
does.
parents, it's
That's fair. So congratulations on your newest release, Crossroads. How do you feel the response to it so far?
Mike. I'll let you grab this one.
Well, it's our latest release. It's been a while, but here's the great thing. So it's been received nicely. I feel like with the pandemic and shows being like, shut down and all that, it's hard to really put out music and then keep the lifespan of that music going because it's kind of like everyone just kind of, I would say like in the beginning of this pandemic, people were kind of like, well, wait to put out music. And then they were like, all right, I'll put out a song. But I feel like things are kind of getting swallowed up when you're releasing music right now because there's either nothing happening after you release it as far as the band, or there's just so many other bands out there releasing music that people are kind of like, oh, that's cool for like a week or two. When's your next single? It's
Yeah.
like, it's like, so, I think the song came out awesome. It's wonderful.
Yeah, agreed.
We worked with our producer and friend, Rob Shirapa of The Stolen. And I thought he did a really great job on it. And, people really liked it when it came out, but just, without shows and with so much music and everything, it kind of, I wouldn't say died off, but like things kind of fizzled out, but not to like go into another area, but we've kind of dialed down things right now too, while we're in the process of working on a new EP. So we've kind of like, just kind of chilled off.
My cat, everyone. There's one of my cats.
Yeah.
Say hi to Puck.
Hi, Puck.
Say hi to all the people on the. Yeah.
I would die for Puck.
Yeah, he's a big chunky boy. He's my buddy. I have another one too. He's a lot more friendly. Yeah. He's also Mike. He's probably wondering why it's all clean in here. Like, there's always blankets on this futon. Where are my blankets?
Yeah. Wait, are you saying Puck isn't friendly?
No, Puck is he's just very shy, not friendly.
Oh,
He's very
okay,
shy.
okay.
So if I have like people over, as soon as they walk in the door, he scrambles under my bed.
Oh.
But my other cat, who's a little bit smaller than him, he comes right. He loves people. So anytime people come over, he's like, even my friends who are allergic to cats, he'll be like, no, you come pet me. Who are you? You're in my house now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we picked them up at the start of the pandemic.
Aw.
Yeah, me and my girlfriend, because we were like kind of lonely, and we were like, hey, if we're gonna be locked in, let's get some kitties.
Yeah.
Right, buddy?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, and yeah. Anyway, sorry to get off.
Sorry.
Yeah, that song was cool.
Yeah.
I saw the
my
cat.
bad.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, you got it.
no, I was just gonna move on to the next question unless you got something
Oh.
to add.
Well, no, I was just gonna say Crossroads. That was cool because like I told you, when I started, I was kind of just producing, solo stuff, and Crossroads was one of the like demos or whatever you want to call it that I had written, kind of back in the day, and was something I had used kind of as like a resume with Mike. and I was like, hey, you know, this is the kind of music I like. You know, I think, you know, I'm not like a professional producer, but I think it's a demo that gets the idea across. And that was one of the like OG songs I showed to him. And he was like, dude, I fucking love that song. Like, absolutely. And he showed me a couple songs. I think Lipstick was one of them, wasn't it, Mike? The first song he ever made. Yeah, it was like one he showed me. And so, you know, when we started, we started realizing like, okay, this is more of a team effort. We kind of need to have, you know, teammates, you know, whether it be producing, mixing, mastering. So we went through a couple producers, and then we finally found Rob, who we've been working with since City Lights, right? City Lights?
Wait, Rob found us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, yeah, but he's a fantastic dude. He's grown to be a good friend of ours and so incredibly talented.
Are you guys familiar with the Stolen and all? The band The Stolen?
I've heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of like fanboying about them for a while, like when we first started as a band. And just in our email one day, Rob reached out to us to like work with us, and I was like, yo, like that's pretty freaking cool. Like the dude from The Stolen wants to produce us. So we were like, yeah, so let's do it. But to go what Colton said, it's just that when we first met up, actually, he showed me one of his other songs, Crossroads, man, you had in your Instagram videos that you had like, and I was like, yo, what's that song? What's that song you have in your Instagram videos? And you're like, oh, it's just some song that I kind of like was like messing or I had out. And I was like, yo, that song's awesome. And he showed me Crossroads, and I was like, yo, that's a banger. So I was glad he had like a demo of it. Yeah, yeah.
And then I think we were like kind of writing / looking for the next song that we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And I remember Mike was like, let's do Crossroads. And I was like, I don't really know. You know, I don't know if I want to do that or think it's, you know, good or whatever. And, you know, the response to it's been great. I think, like Mike said, it's just kind of unfair. You know, that and City Lights, you know, if you drop a song like that, usually, you know, engagement goes up, and you know, you book a show and people want to hear the new song, and just, you know, in the middle of a fucking pandemic, you know, there are no shows. Mm-hmm. So, that definitely interferes with, you know, the plans that we had. So, you know, great plans, right? No pun intended. I didn't mean to do that. It honestly just happened.
It just happened, yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about the process of like taking this from a solo track to a full band song?
Yeah, I mean, we can morph that into kind of like our songwriting process, I feel like. Because it's actually really cool kind of how it works. So typically, I will say Mike usually comes up with, let's say like a loop. Are we all familiar with like a loop where, you know, it's like 4 bars or whatever?
Yeah. A vibe.
A vibe. Yeah, a vibe. Yeah. A little vibe for, you know, whatever. And then Mike's usually like, yo, I got this. And he typically does like very basic, you know, like GarageBand stuff. And then typically he'll put like his phone there, do a voice memo, and show to me and be like, this is what I was thinking. I'm usually like, you know, Mike knows, usually I'm like, eh. Or sometimes like, dude, I am digging this. Let's do it. But either way, you know, we always, because, you know, there are times where you think you write the best song and it ends up being, not to say a dud, but, you know, not as good as one that you didn't put much stock in. And then when it finally comes to life, you know, you're like, wow. But yeah, so typically Mike will kind of do that, come over to this actual room here. And this is kind of our demo room now, you know, and we'll basically kind of work together, you know, sketch some shit out. And typically we, not to say cheat, but typically we write just like the basic instruments, and then we'll write like first verse into the chorus. And that's usually it. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
Sometimes a bridge, but usually just first verse into a chorus, because at least for us, that gives us like, we know, okay, so the second, then we just got to do a second verse and repeat the choruses or come up with a bridge. But that gives us like to, you know, for us, like a great showcase. So when we go to Rob, or when we go to, you know, if we had another producer, we go to them, they don't have to sit through a 3.5-minute song or whatever that's underproduced. You know, they're like, you know, here's the vibe, here's the idea, here's the melody. You know, what do you think? And, you know, luckily with Rob, usually he's like, dude, let's fuck it. I love it. Let's do it. This is a vibe. Yeah. So positive.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, the most important part is just come up with a hook, you know, that we think the hook is good enough. You know, so either I'll sit in my house for days and days and days and days and days and weeks and finally be like, should I show Colton this? Should I show it to him? Should I not?
Yeah.
And then once I get the the gall to show him, then we usually work on it together, like you said. And then we sit in that room and we either have lots of wine, smoke some ribs.
Ribs. I didn't think you were gonna say ribs, but no. Actually, Mike doesn't smoke weed. I'm a bit of a pot.
It's funny because like we literally will like work on a song maybe for like it'll feel like 5 hours, but maybe like it's been a whole like 45 minutes broken apart because we're sitting there. It's like me and him enjoy each other, so we have a good time.
It's
that's
like
kind of important,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the times too. It is a vibe sesh more like than a songwriting sesh. Like especially like we talked about, Mike and I are friends, so our families are friends, and we barbecue. I go to his house, chill by his pool all the time. He comes over, like all that stuff, and it's a lot of fun, and it ends up working out for us, I guess. And actually, too, the other thing I was going to say is it's nice sometimes having the differences because Mike is very funny enough. I'm the singer, but Mike is way better with like melodies and things like that. So a lot of times he writes the melody and then has to teach me. And a lot of times I do like the production work.
Yeah.
I do a lot of like the musical parts of it. And then like we end up like teaching Mike. So it's funny how songs get written. Like you can write a song, but like you need a couple weeks to learn how to play the song, because it's a little different when you're in the studio, but I digress.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. You guys balance each other out.
I love
really
that.
Cool. Yeah, that's amazing.
I tend to talk over Mike all the time.
Like peanut butter and jelly.
I'm waiting for the text. Usually when we're on like interviews, Mike will text me and he'll be like, "Shut the fuck up. Stop interrupting."
Oh,
fantastic.
Well,
We have a great time.
Okay, that's good. So can you tell me where your headspace was while creating this song?
Crossroads?
That's all you, Cole. Keep going, baby.
Keep on chatting it up.
Mike, Mike also... Yeah, because honestly, I swear, I feel like a lot of these press things too, or like the podcast and all the interviews that we do, which I love doing. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun for me.
So tell the story how it leads up to the old version, and then we could talk about how we made this newer one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll tell the demo version, and then you get your little limelight there.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. But anyway, as I was saying,
30 seconds of fame.
Yeah. Dude, no, I feel like a lot of times, like, I feel like a lot of times too, I have to like beg Mike, or not beg Mike, but he's like, "Oh, they got this interview thing if you want to do it." And I was like, "Yeah, are you gonna come on with me?" He's like, "Do I have to, or do you just want to do it by yourself?" I'm like, "No, man. Like, I get not scared." But he's like, "You're the front man. Like, come on,
the front man. You got to do all the interviews. You got to do that."
Yeah. I love interviews. I just feel like if I don't have Mike to keep me like I could literally talk for 9 hours straight and not even answer the question too.
Well, you haven't answered the headspace question yet.
Yeah,
so.
It's okay though.
Headspace. All right. Yeah. So Headspace on Crossroads. Crossroads was actually, so this is when I lived back at my parents' house. But it was that summer, I think, or whatever. But a lot of times they were kind of out of the house for like the weekend or whatever. And, I mean, totally truth be told, I was on this, I was on a bender for like, 3 or 4 days. And it was like 6 a.m. I remember. And, I'm drunk as shit. I haven't been to bed and, can't tell you how long. And, like the sun's coming up and it was just, honestly, it was a fucking depressive moment. Like in the lyrics, it was like, you start to question at bar number 8, which pun kind of deal, and it's like, what'd you come here to celebrate? Like, what are you even celebrating? Like, there's new job, new car, new money, have you gotten fame? Like you're like the things I wanted at the time. Like I was like, I rather I'm sitting here depressed as fuck at 6 a.m, living in my parents' basement, not knowing what the fuck I'm doing with my life, kind of deal. And honestly too, not to be like that, but there's an irony of singing sad lyrics and sad songs and putting it to happy music. Mm-hmm. And I didn't necessarily turn it to happy music. It was just, It's just, I guess Mike can even tell you, like, if I sit down and just write instrumental, for some reason everyone's like, it just sounds fucking happy and boppy and very Colton. And this song was honestly just kind of a reflection of being bummed out and just kind of in a really shitty spot, I guess. And then it never really had a chorus. It was very, at least my version was very instrumental, kind of a la Sky Full of Stars, if you will. And then at the very, very end, it took me forever to write that song because I never had the second verse down. The very, very end, that last part of the song, where it's like, when you're down feeling lonely, whatever, that was always my resolve. So a couple other, songs I've written, I tend to juxtapose the down, the very down parts with but then this will happen, and it'll get better. Because also too, when I write songs, I write songs to inspire people, and I hope that they, have found themselves in the same position that I'm in, and hopefully I can give a little guidance, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that was kind of my headspace with the song. And then when we kind of took it, back for round two, I was saying, hey, it's my baby, but I've held on to this for so long. Like, fuck it, just do whatever you guys want. Let's be open-ended on this. I have no rules or regs on what we can or can't do on this song. So, I'll kind of let Mike take it from here. But yeah, it kind of took on a new form.
No, I think you said most of it, man. I mean, I just know, like, when we not redid it, but when we brought it to Rob, because we had the song already in production with a different producer, and I wouldn't say like we weren't vibing. It's just kind of like we listened to it and we were like, it's kind of like the same song that we had. So we had been working with Rob then, and like we kind of looked at it maybe again and just felt like updating it a bit, as far as like the sounds of what's going on today in EDM world, even like in like alt rock, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's what we did, and I'm very happy with it. I mean, honestly, to me, it's just one of those songs where you put on, like, you can put on late at night or when you're daytime outside, just kind of like chilling out, relaxing. It's a nice pace song, just kind of puts you in a nice headspace. And your question was about headspace, and I think just the whole vibe of it just kind of like makes you reflect on where you're at and like what you're doing and all that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Hell yeah.
Well put.
There's a long-winded answer to your simple question.
I love it. I honestly forgot we even asked the headspace question. I was like, oh no, Gloria's going to have to skip it because they went into it during the writing process question. I completely zoned out. It's okay.
We're the worst.
So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want each of you guys to describe this single for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Wait, Crossroads we're talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Mike, you go first then. I don't know. 3 words?
Sweet, awesome,
3 words.
some sauce.
Definitely.
All right. Well, let it slide.
I'll give you. I'll give you 1 word. Reflexive. I feel like is a good word for that.
You're only giving us one?
You're
I said
only
no
giving
more,
us
no
one?
less.
Yeah.
Go listen to the song. Not you. That was directed to the listeners, and then they can give 3 words. No.
Acting as if I haven't already listened to the song.
But also, yeah, I mean, no, not you. Then also, to be fair, it's kind of hard. Also, thanks, babe. Got my. See, I had to do the trick where you wrap it in wet paper towel and then throw it in the freezer. Yeah.
I saw
that.
But
it's hard to kind of describe your own music. If I don't know if I'm the only one who has that dilemma, but I find it hard.
No,
I wrote it. I don't know.
History, Colt, is us not knowing how to describe our music. I mean,
that is a big.
That's honestly been like an internal thing where like we don't really know where we fit sometimes.
Yeah, like are we pop rock? Are we indie pop? Are we alt pop? Fucking, I don't know.
Well, genres are stupid anyway, and there's so many bands breaking out of the normal genre like confines. It really doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. You can be your own thing.
Just making tunes, man. It's all that's
make
just
up
the
your own
umbrella
genre. I see
term.
people doing that.
Yeah.
Well, indie poptimism is a big one that Spotify told me that I liked. Yeah,
that's perfect. That's perfect. Mm-hmm. So while going through this song, what band artist influences pop out the most to you? Maybe this will help you kind of narrow it down.
Crossroads we're still talking about, right?
Yes,
about Crossroads.
My bad. I mean, for me, it was definitely I'm gonna sound like copycat, but it was definitely like every other song I've ever done. It was very Coldplay, Avicii, and if I'm not mistaken, I wrote I wrote Crossroads because I loved Sky Full of Stars so much, and I was like, I'm just gonna try and write my own version of Sky Full of Stars. And it changed, but yeah. I take Coldplay and Avicii was definitely my vibe on that, 1,000,000%. Mike, what do you?
Yeah, Mike.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, it's kind of your song, so it's I was just along for a ride on that one, So it's kind of like I guess whatever you were feeling, man,
All right.
But
Well,
like,
then-
which ones do you
wait.
hear when you're listening to it?
Well, then
What's that?
also, Mike, we did the Imagine Dragons type stuff when we did the gang vocals and shit, right?
Yeah.
Well, I would say when we redid it with Rob, like I was, I'm always listening.
That's
to
the version they've heard. They haven't heard that.
Yeah. So
Everybody's-
but there were two versions, and for a long time there only was that one version, with the different chorus that sounded way more Coldplay-esque, But then like I listen to a lot of like EDM, so does Colton, but like on Sirius, especially I'm driving, I listen to a lot of BPM, like that station, and like I'm into that stuff, and I was hearing a lot of like the half timing, like trap beats and stuff like that, and I was like, I could really feel like if we redo this song, like we could half time that chorus and make it kind of feel like it's a little more slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
Because kind of like what he was feeling with that song about like just kind of being stuck in time and reflecting, like, instead of like everything speeding up, like you were taking a breath, right? Like you were like, what the fuck's going on in my life? So it's kind of like the chorus, kind of like, yo, and so that's kind of what I was vibing with when we were doing that chorus. And again, like I'm a big Coldplay fan too, so that's why me and Colton met, honestly, because he put Coldplay in his Craigslist advertisement, and
Coldplay, Killers, and somebody else, right?
So it's like we were really a match made on Craigslist because like we were into it. So when he's talking about coming at it from a Coldplay point of view, I mean that's what it is, So
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna shift away from your music for just a second. Which song do you guys wish you wrote, and why?
like every single other song.
I'll give you a new one because otherwise it's going to be Killers, Coldplay. What was that? Nights by Neon Trees, that new one, their new album. Mike actually showed me the album, and I, to also full disclosure, I'm the worst at listening to music. I typically listen to playlists that other people curate for me, or I listen to like curated playlists, and I can't tell you the name of like any band. I could probably sing along to the song. I have no idea what the song name is, no idea what the band name is. So Mike introduced me to the new Neon Trees album.
Audio. Did you lose audio on him?
No.
No.
No, I'm joking. Neon Trees album, Nights. I really like the chord progression in that one, and that one gets me a good vibe anytime I hear that song. So I wouldn't say the one, but off the top of my head, that's a good one.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just trying to think. I mean, there's so many. It's funny, Sky Full of Stars.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but
no, I would say like Mr. Brightside, maybe.
Fuck
Classic, yeah.
Like, and I'm so jealous of that song for like more than like one reason. I mean, for one, the dance version of it on what's the second album? It was like a B-side. I forget, like whatever the Killers put out. They put out the dance version. But what's sick is that Brandon Flowers, when he plays on his own, like because he has his own thing, he does the dance version live. And it's like, how can a song be so good, like in two different ways? It's amazing. So, and what's crazy is like that song, the first verse and second verse are the same lyrics. And like, you never even realize that. That's how good the song is. That when you hear it, you're like, maybe you realize it, but you're like, like most songs, if I heard the same verse twice, I'd be like, oh, like they couldn't write another verse, but it's just so good. Like from
it is so good.
Yeah.
And honestly, Mike, that was a moment for me, at least, when you said that, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're right."
You're serious?
But like, someone asked on like we're in like this like music group on Facebook.
Oh, look, I'm wearing the shirt. I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, you are.
You're
actually wearing the same outfit you wore for our first show.
First show, yep.
Pretty awesome.
I was feeling good today. I was like, first show vibes, baby. Let's do it.
I love it. So there's a music group on Facebook that we were that he's wearing. He's like repping. Someone asked a question like, "What's like your favorite anthem song?" So I put like Mr. Brightside, and this guy was like, "That's an anthem." I was like, "Have you seen concerts in Brazil or like Chile or like wherever they're like 500,000 people in the audience and they're pumping Mr. Brightside?"
Exactly.
If
Yeah.
that's not an anthem, then I don't know what's an anthem. You know?
Yeah.
So yes, Mr. Brightside probably. Yeah.
It's a good one.
That's a very good choice. It's a good
All right, well, what about you guys? If you had written a song, which one would you have liked to write?
God
We
damn.
haven't gotten this one.
But
Oh
the
my
script-
god.
God
Script
damn.
on 'em. Yeah.
You know,
What is my favorite song? Shane, do you have it? Or like
I-
a corn
Put them on the
song,
spot,
right?
Mike. Love it.
I have like two on the top of my head. Neither of them are corn, so I'll just give both of them.
Okay.
I mean, right now it's probably "Happy Thoughts" by Mike Shinoda. I don't know why that song has been on a
Oh,
constant
that's
loop
the
for
Ian
me.
Dior one, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know why that song's been on a constant loop for me, but it has been. And I've been listening to "Numb" by Water Parks all day today, so I'll give that one
Oh,
as
nice.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he gave two, so I'm gonna give two. So I'm gonna say either you're gonna hate me for this. Tonight by the Hot Chili
I
Ray,
hate
or Jamie All Over by
Mayday Parade.
whatever Mayday Parade.
Yeah.
I don't listen to them, but that song, perfection. So
Great pop punk song.
it's so
That's
good.
nice. That's awesome.
Mike's a big pop punk guy.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, big time.
Who's your favorite pop punk band?
See that's a hard question.
There you go. I
no,
only
I'd
ask
have
the
to
hard
say-
questions.
I'd have to say, all right. I would say like when Fall Out Boy was like doing "Take This to Your Grave,"
Hmm.
that was like my favorite. Like that's like it for me. Like if I could just be stuck in one time.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's funny. Like I was, I don't know. I was like going through like super nostalgic feels the past like few months. I don't know. I guess like the cold weather months make you think about stuff because you're inside all the time.
Mhm.
And the Starting Line did a live stream thing, or they did like a live 3 live shows
Yeah.
from all their songs. And I was like, you know what? I was like, maybe like I never knew this, but maybe the Starting Line are like my favorite pop punk band. Them, Cartel, Fall Out Boy, the Academies, although they're not like pop punk per se, but
Mhm.
that, like I miss that time so much.
Yeah, definitely. It was
It
a good
hurts.
era.
It hurt.
It's a good era for
But
me.
yeah, Starting Line probably.
All right.
Solid.
Yeah.
So where do you guys see the band in the next 5 years?
Cool saying Florida.
I want to be in.
Florida?
But, No, I mean, all right. So 5 years is a little bit scary.
Just a little.
Yeah. I think we have more short-term goals, 1 to 2 year goals. So basically, first and foremost, we've been taking the time that we haven't been releasing music to write and record and prepare for kind of a reopening, as you will, hopefully the world as it continues to reopen. We can kind of play into that. So full disclosure, our goal is we have, 6 or 7 fully finished songs under our belt that are just, parked waiting for us to do something with it. Our plan then is to shoot a music video for at least one of them, then take those and shop those around to labels and management, and hopefully labels. Basically, we're going to, funny enough, we've archived for the past, we've been a band, say 2.5 years now. We've archived every single conversation where someone's like, hey, I know this person at this record label. You should talk to them. So now we're finally at that point where we have a resume. We have some shows that we played. We have a little bit of a fan base. We have press that we've done. We have an image, that we can convey. And our goal is to find someone or a backing of sorts who also agrees with that goal, sees the bigger picture. I mean, eventually our goal would, we want to be, not to say household name, but, we'd love to have spins on mainstream radio.
Yeah.
We would love to go on a tour, whether that be, regional, nationwide, or global. And honestly, I think at the end of the day, we would love to have the band be our full-time job because a band is a job. And, we would love to wake up, go to the studio, or wake up and do press stuff and, hang out. And like we said, we get along very well. So I think our goal is to, transition from less of a indie band into more of, fingers crossed, hopefully, mainstream or more, I guess, I don't know the proper word, but, a little bit bigger. And I think with support of the right people, businesses, and, even us, and, mixed with, talent and luck and timing, I think it's an attainable goal for us. But anybody else will tell you it's a grind, man. We've been grinding for, 2, 3, 4 years now, just between all of us and the things we've done. And you can never give up. You can't give up on the 5-yard line. You got to just keep pushing, whether it be, hopefully it's more of a 2-year thing, but if it ends up being a 5-year thing, our goal is still the same. We're going to continue to make music. We're going to continue to try and push that music out there. And I think at some point it just becomes, kind of a matter of fact of we need backing and we need support. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And we want to do everything we can to make it work.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. That's awesome. Good luck with that, guys. I don't know how else to segue into
we can dream,
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
So
I think our goals are realistic. I think they're very realistic. We're not looking for we're not looking for
to get viral.
In the world.
The killer's opening for you.
Yeah. No,
that'd be dope.
Everything within reason. Really cool. And I will say this one thing: he's probably being a little bit. I don't know what exactly the word is, but I think we're stoked as F on the songs we have. Like we're not just gonna sit here and jump up and down like Tom Cruise, like when he's on the couch and stuff. But we think the songs that we have that we've just almost done recording are like next level, like things you've never heard from us. We found it, you know what I mean? And maybe it's us, but it's like way next level stuff for us. So we're stoked. Yeah.
I agree with Mike. I think a way to put it is we kind of finally found our groove and found our sound. And you're right, Mike. I didn't want to be douche and be like, the new shit is dope. Everybody's going to love it or whatever. But, there have been friends who, lifelong friends of mine who I've showed things, from when I first learned to produce, to our first song as a band to our, and the new stuff. Honestly, I swear these are friends that tell me the truth when they're like, dude, I've heard you write better stuff before. It's all right. I'm sure other people like it. I had people literally, I would just text and be like, dude, whenever you get time, just, let me know. Literally called me, 3 minutes and 30 seconds later. I was like, dude, are you fucking kidding me with this?
Yeah.
Like what this is, dude, what is this? Like, is this the new stuff? And I was like, dude, that wasn't even supposed to be the good one. Like that was supposed to be, not to say a filler one, like that, that was just another one because we had the good one. And they're like, yeah, we're stoked. We are fucking stoked. And that's why also too, I think we're in a good position. We've done the smart moves that we needed to. We've grinded, we've worked hard, we've hustled, we put in so much work in the back end that nobody ever sees, and I think we're ready to hit our stride. And, COVID and the lockdowns, pandemic fucked everybody. They fucked us too. And, so what? It fucking happens. Pick yourself up, get back out there, keep hustling. And I think that's what we've done. And we're stoked for this next year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we made some nice connections. It took a while, from when we started the band to really get in with people, the right people, not just
the right people for sure.
Doing it to be cool, but genuine people in this industry, because there's a lot of assholes, a lot of asshole bands.
Very clicky and shit. It's like high school.
Not throwing any shade or being nasty, but there's a lot of people, a lot of bands that just, it's amazing. It really is. So
yeah, we thought. There you go, Mike.
When you meet the genuine people in the industry, and I know honestly, at this point, I don't really feel bad even saying what I'm saying because they know how they are.
Yeah. So. It was so Mike's been in more bands than I have, throughout that. And at least my thing was, I thought at the end of the day, not say playing shows with somebody, but if you're playing shows in the same general vicinity or area, it's kind of common courtesy to just, hey, reach out, like, hey, what's going on, or stuff like that. Be polite to each other. It turns out it's like one big fucking competition, and people think like because you like band A, you can't like band B. Like, and band B, how dare you try and
it's the high school lunchroom. Honestly,
it really is. It's like, oh, you're sitting with that table. Don't you think you can ever come back and sit with our table? It's ridiculous. And at the end of the day, we fucking hate that politics bullshit side of it. When it really should be about music. It's about music and having fun and listening to music, going to shows and vibing. That's kind of our biggest. And sorry for getting a little ticked on that. Yeah, we digress.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good. I completely agree. After dealing with a lot of bands, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Shane.
So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Oh, I know mine off the top of my head. See that? See that in stacks right there?
Ooh, yeah.
That seafoam green, aqua blue-ish type. It's not technically on my shirt, but 100% hands down, by far, our favorite color of all time.
It's a very good color.
I think gray is my favorite color. Seriously. I like the color gray. I like a nice gray shirt. No one wears gray pants, but I like gray. Yeah.
Gray is a great color.
All right.
That's also how we digress, or how we're different than each other, because when we first started the band, Mike is also a great stylist. So he was like grayscale only. And meanwhile over here, as you can see, I'm a big pop of color over here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Anything we would like to plug?
Stick with us. That's all.
Wait. What like demographic are you guys? Where are you guys from?
New Jersey.
Virginia.
Oh, okay, Jersey. Yeah, we're a Jersey band.
Yeah.
So here's the plug I'll make. August 5th, we are playing a show downtown Freehold, which is a pretty cool little venue. It's a free show. It's a Thursday night, I believe. Should be a lot of fun. And we're called The Break Plans. So do not look up their current media where they type out our band name. But that's a story for a different.
The Breaking Plans. How can you call us The Breaking?
I'm not going to complain about this, but yes, The Break Plans. We are playing August 5th in Freehold, in an outdoor show, and it's going to be awesome. And they're always awesome, and that's our hometown, and we're from there. It's going to be great, and I hope if you're from New Jersey and you're listening to this, you show up.
Hell yeah!
Where in Jersey?
Maybe I'll buy you a beer.
I'm on the Jersey Shore, like 5 minutes from the beach.
Oh, where about?
Yeah.
Like Point Beach area.
Oh, Point Beach. Okay.
Yep.
One of my favorite restaurants over there, Spike's.
Yep.
Point Pleasant. Yeah, by the bay. And I'm like, say Mike had a venue at Jack Baker's Lobster Shanty back in the day. Great place, also.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Good times.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for now. This guys has been The Break Plans, and
There we go. He's got it.
Podcast.